Good evening. I have a royal message to deliver. But maybe before I do that, I'll just steal a moment to say a few words of my own. First and foremost, it goes to the Masilela family. May I invite the Masilela family to look around this hall just for a few seconds. So move your eyes around. And I won't ask you what you see, but I will tell you. What we have put together as this evening's program is something that you really find and see. To keep an audience alive, attentive, and appreciative of all of what they've heard. So much has been said from this podium by different ladies who, according to the program, are referred to as widows. As I was sitting down there, listening to all the speeches that they gave, I was touched, I was moved, and the MC said, standing here, she was becoming emotional. And I'm sure she was speaking for most of us around this, in this hall. It didn't start there. It started with Sisibusi Glory Masilela when she made those welcoming remarks, followed by Magekanyisile with her keynote address. And as speaker after speaker came up here, I then started worrying, am I at the right place? Because each and every one of them was a lady. There was no male speaker coming to this podium until now, when my former Prime Minister and patron came up to speak. At first, I thought I was lost. And I said to myself, had I known what kind of an evening it was going to be, I probably would have passed the word that another lady should have been sent here. But in another breath, I said to myself, no. I'm missing out. If I had not been here this evening, I would not have gained this insight into the problems that went into the struggle. To all the individual speakers and collectively, I wish to congratulate you and thank you very sincerely for sharing your stories with us this evening. To the Masilelas, speaker after speaker here has said it all started with Makoko here. She's gone, but the dream is alive. Please keep it alive. By doing things that you are doing for us. I heard that Last year you had Minister Lindy were here from South Africa. I'm sure next year you'll have somebody different. And please continue doing that, because as the patron said, it's now beyond the borders of Swaziland. And for this, we congratulate you as the Masilelas. Let me go back to the text. Program Director, patron of KwaMagogo, and former Prime Minister of the Kingdom, Honorable A.T. Dlamini. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Bagamasilela, Guest Speaker Magekhanyile, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, siyanibingelela bekunene. This event today comes after just 2 days of commemorating 40 years of that epic yet very dark day in the history of the struggle for human dignity for all in South Africa. The Students' Uprising of June 16, 1976. And please bear in mind that I'm reading a text from His Majesty. Although some of us were still very young then, we could read the seriousness of that tragic event from the eyes and lips of my father, His Majesty King Sobhuza II. And as I grew up, I also began to appreciate what happened on that day and the months and years that followed. On Thursday this week, it was very painful to hear the names of those who perished on that day 40 years ago. And this house is today, KwaMagogo, is being remembered for having housed those who managed to escape and land into the Kingdom of Eswatini, affording us as a country to make our humble contribution by sheltering the fleeing young people, affording many of those who chose to stay here opportunities of education together with their Swazi counterparts. We therefore thank the Masilela family who turned their house number 43 at Triloni Park, known also as KwaMagogo, into a place of safety whilst thinking about the next move. As you commemorate the 40 years of that struggle, which touched the lives not only of the people of South Africa in this region, but the consciences of the whole world. Think about those Swazi citizens who died along your people who were killed inside this country. They died together with their friends because Swaziland's population never discriminated against those who had come here as refugees. They were regarded as being part of this nation. Hence, when the enemy struck, it found them together and they died together. Perhaps that was our small way of contributing to that legitimate struggle for the restoration of full citizenship of the African people who, though being the indigenous and majority in that country, but were treated as slaves in the country of their birth because of a misguided belief that some people were superior than others simply because of their skin color. We can only pray that South Africans of all races and political and religious affiliations will find it in their hearts and minds to keep the legacy of those young lions, as they are now called, by doing things such that the country prospers in peace, so that those who died for this freedom may not have died in vain. You owe this not only to them alone, but also to the generation of the Mandelas, the Mbegis, the Sisulus, and all those heroes and heroines, some of whom have left this world. You owe it to Africa and the whole world for their collective efforts in ensuring that peace and democracy returned to the people of South Africa. Thank you. Siyabonga.